friends, welcome back. Kara Corey here, and we are here to do Summer Cut episode number 11. Now, today's video is going to be a little bit different than what you've maybe seen in this series so far. I've been doing a lot of vlogs for you guys where I incorporate my healthy tips for you guys, what I've been doing, my results, all that kind of good stuff. Many of you commented in the last episode that you were really happy to see that I incorporate my health as part of this summer cut. That is kind of my main thing for this summer cut. So in today's video, I want to be really clear with you guys about where I'm at in my life and how this cut maybe can come across a certain way to the random viewer just passing by my channel and not really understanding my story and my journey. And I want to go through with you guys how my life has drastically changed and why things are so different for me right now. Before we jump on into today's video, please make sure that you guys do all the things. Make sure you are subscribed. You can hit that post notification bell. I am usually here uploading at least once a week for you guys related to my summer cut series, and then I sprinkle in some other videos as well. While the format of this video may be a little bit different from what you guys have been seeing, I will say I think this may be the most important video I am uploading to date, if not for the summer cut series, but for my whole channel. So I am going to disclose a lot of information to you guys that I think will help kind of put things in perspective or show you where I'm at in my journey versus where I came from. And I've never shared these details with you guys before. I started this channel when I started my bodybuilding journey. So you guys kind of met me along that start to my fitness bodybuilding lifestyle, but there was a whole lifestyle that happened pre-bodybuilding that I've never really shared on here before, and that is in my mind a lot of times where I compare myself to. For those that are just passing by this channel and are new here, a little trigger alert: this video could be triggering for anyone that does have active disordered eating patterns. So I just want to mention that if this could trigger you in any way at all, totally understand. Feel free to check back in my next video that I post. Unfortunately, social media only shows bits and pieces, right? So I do understand how things can come across sometimes, and I can see where someone may look at me or quickly look at this channel and see someone who's already petite, who's an extra small and Buff Bunny collection trying to get smaller or trying to lose weight, and that could make you feel some kind of way. And that is never my intent, and that's not my own personal journey either, which is why I want to share this video. I never want you guys to feel when you come here like you need to do exactly what I'm doing, or you need to change the shape of your body because I'm trying to change the shape of my body, things like that. So I really want to be clear in this video what my purpose is here. You have to be so careful what you consume on social media, myself included, and if anything's making you feel some kind of way, then don't consume it. You know, obviously, sometimes you have to ask yourself first, like, why is this making me feel bad? Is it because the content isn't good, or is it because I'm struggling with certain things? And it's not right or wrong. It's just something you have to be mindful of for our own mental health benefits. I think back to when Jason and I got married. So I'm going back to like circa 2008, a little over 10 years ago. This was before I got into my bodybuilding lifestyle. I didn't lift much, and I just had a whole different view on myself and the perception of my body and my behaviors back then. And it's hindsight's always 2020, right? I look back and there's so many things I wish I could change, which is a big part of my purpose here on this channel, is to hopefully have reach to those of you, the younger audience, to the audience that relates to my age, and the older audience, that it's never too late to shift your mindset and have a healthier relationship with your body, with your food, with everything that kind of helps heal you mentally and physically. Thinking back to that period of time before I started lifting, I was a very different person. I will openly admit that I feel like thoughts of my body being small as possible, was very important to me. I very much so wanted to always be a small person, which it's funny to think about it now because I am a small person, obviously, but at the time it was like I didn't even think so, and it was just really important for me to like shift a lot of my choices about being a smaller person, and that thought of taking up less space and always being the small one. And it kind of makes me feel grossed out to think about that that's how I viewed things. And like I said, at the time, I wasn't really thinking I was viewing it that way. I hope that makes sense. Like, I didn't realize how disordered some of my thoughts were. And I very much so had body dysmorphia, thinking back to how I looked then and how I look now, and thinking I just looked in the mirror and didn't like what I saw ever. And I am not that person anymore, you guys. I am the opposite. It's not to say I don't have bad body image days, but back then it was like I was not happy with anything, and you could not give me a compliment. I did not know how to receive it. Something that maybe I still struggle with at times, but for the most part, I will receive compliments now. I take them and I will give myself compliments now. I couldn't even fathom giving myself compliments 10 years ago. It's so sad to me. It's so sad, but that's how I was. I was living my life based on being very small and wanting to be tiny. So all of my decisions were kind of based around that, and I didn't even realize it. Apologize if you're hearing any rumbles in the background. It's not my stomach. We're actively having like a huge thunderstorm right now, so apologize if that impacts audio whatsoever. So I made out a list kind of comparing how I was then, and it was so interesting to like write everything down and see that now I am the total opposite. And I don't know that a viewer would come here and know that about this channel. But we all can have our own struggles, and they may look different. And I understand, looking at me, I may not look like I'm someone that's ever struggled with my weight, ever struggled with views on my body. But I have, like, dramatically. There was this period of time that it was so consuming for me. The foods that I would eat weren't healthy. Like, I didn't eat healthy at all. You would think trying to be small, I would eat healthy foods. I would try to eat fruits and vegetables, lean proteins. Absolutely not. My eating habits were not great. I would eat a lot of sugar. I would just eat like a box of cereal for dinner. I would eat a box of granola bars. Like, I just didn't even know how to eat. I was not taking care of myself. And yes, I almost hate disclosing this information, because for me, I am a dietitian, a practicing dietitian, with my own practice here online. And I don't ever want you to feel like because I'm disclosing this, it means like I don't know how to handle my clients. I disclose this information because I want you guys to know you may relate to me. You may relate to some of my struggles, and that just because I'm a dietitian does not mean I didn't have my struggles. And just because I am a thin, petite female doesn't mean I didn't have those struggles. My struggles may look drastically different than the average person. My struggles are not of an overweight, obese person. I didn't grow up and get teased. I didn't have to deal with that. So I understand that wasn't my story. But I do have my own story that kind of shaped where I am today and what you see for the content that I provide. So very unhealthy eating habits. And when I would eat certain things, in my mind, it was all about how am I going to burn this off? So if I allowed myself to indulge beyond what I felt like what was acceptable, I would find ways to burn it off or work it off, whether that meant double sessions in the gym, triple sessions in the gym, running more mileage, just a really healthy association between food and myself, working out, and my own views of my body. I was majorly an over-exerciser, as I just alluded to. I did train and do a lot of marathons. I did develop a healthier relationship with that as time went on, but for a period of time, it kind of masked some of my disordered habits. I would train and do these long runs and not properly nourish. I would go out and do a 20-mile run, and I remember I would do like a long run in the morning before I'd go to college or something, or even outside of college. But I remember in college in particular, I'd have to get to class, and I wouldn't even plan food to bring with me. So I'd go out and run and not have any post-run nourishment. Like, I was not providing my body with any good nourishment. It's no wonder I've gained and dramatically changed my body since then for a number of reasons, weightlifting included, but also proper fueling. I eat more than I ever have in my entire life compared to how I used to eat. I used to just try to eat as little as possible. That was the goal on a daily basis. How can I eat as little as possible? Because that is what's best. Those were the screwed up thoughts in my mind at the time. I think I want to say this too, back in 2008, 2010. That is kind of like pre-social media, if you will. And I think that's like a huge benefit of social media. I can talk about the negatives of it, but the positives are the fact that I feel like it has been more normalized. Women lifting, women fueling, women having different body shapes and sizes and being curvy and accepting your body and throwing up selfies when you're feeling yourself, regardless if it's society standard. So there's a lot of great things that have happened over the 10 years that I think have also influenced me in a positive way with some of the content that I consume as well, to kind of shift me out of that mindset. Another major thing that I struggled with was anxiety. So literally anything I was gonna do, especially with travel, if I was gonna go out of town, if I was gonna go do something with Jason, go do something with friends that included food, which most events do, I would get anxious about what are the offerings gonna be, how am I gonna eat, how am I gonna work this off? So I should probably say here in this video, I was never diagnosed with an eating disorder. These were all disordered eating habits that I definitely recognized, but I was never to the point of having an eating disorder. So I do want to mention in this video, though, if you are someone struggling, if these things that I'm saying are things that you're dealing with on a daily basis right now, I will leave some links down in the description box below. If you are actively struggling and need to reach out for help, then please do so. I would always be so anxious, though, but I would find a way. Like, there'd be a way that even, many of which Christmas dinners, I would eat and enjoy myself, and then it didn't matter that it was dead of winter, I'd go out and get my run done. Some of you may say, well, that's okay, you're just living a healthy lifestyle. For me, that wasn't healthy at the time. That's where the difference is. Like, you can go either way with how you view things, and I know that period of time, it was not healthy for me because it was about burning off all the extra foods that I allowed myself to eat. I don't really know if I need to be doing air quotes so much, so I apologize for that. But you know what I mean? When you kind of think about the reason why you're doing things can speak more to where it comes from, whether it's healthy or not. And for me, it wasn't healthy. It wasn't like I wanted to go move because I knew it would make my body feel better. It was I need to burn off these calories because I need to stay small and I can't gain weight. So that's where it was coming from, and that was not a healthy place for me to be whatsoever. Now, like, when I think about this summer cut series and what I want you guys to take away from it, yes, I'm sharing with you guys progress pictures. I'm talking about my weights. I'm talking about my weight trending down. But really the bigger picture is I'm trying to do things in a more healthy, sustainable manner. I feel like COVID and like learning of Jason's health ailments and dealing with that, I kind of just stopped prioritizing myself like big time. It didn't matter. I just wasn't focusing on me. And yes, I am a small person, but you're judging me by how I look. I wasn't being healthy. I wasn't taking care of me. So while this is a summer cut series, this is a journey about getting back to my healthy habits, my healthy routines, and establishing myself as a priority in a healthy way. So I really hope that that comes across in these videos, and I hope that this is the main takeaway. I don't want you guys to come to this channel and feel like you just have to lose weight. I do share weight loss tips on this channel because some people do need to lose weight, right? Or that is my field in dietetics, is helping people maintain their health, and I do believe lose weight, although that is kind of conflicting in the world of dietitians right now, but that is still in my wheelhouse of what I help people do. But I try to do it in a sustainable way where you are changing your lifestyle and you are prioritizing your health. I'm not trying to package this up all pretty with the word health and balance to sell you something. I'm not here to sell you anything, you guys. I'm literally sharing with you my life and how it's changed. So I do hope that that comes through. This summer, Jason and I have done so many different things. Now that he's technically not working and focusing on his health, something we've done a lot of is multiple little adventures and day trips. Basically, ever since the weather got nice, Jason and I have been taking so many trips. You saw us go to Lake Placid. Just recently, we had this great little outing at Green Lakes. We did get a little vlog footage. They sell these like clear boats and the water there literally is like a turquoise blue. It's so clear and cool. So you ride in the boat and you can just see the water underneath you. So that was like a fun little outing we did. And then we also just took a day trip yesterday out to the state park that I just randomly found, and we were out there for a while. We went to the lake. I packed a little picnic with us. We brought Bruce. It was just such a fun time, and I share that stuff with you guys because Kara 10 years ago couldn't have done all this. I couldn't have gone on these random day trips where actually our hike took us way longer because my map skills were way off. I took us the wrong way, and we ended up walking double the amount we planned on. So we were out and about a lot longer than we had intended to. So it was really good on my part that we planned enough food, like we had extra in the car and stuff like that. But something so simple like that, I try to give myself the praise that 10 years ago, I couldn't have done that. I couldn't have done that, those little adventures with my husband. Or, I went and visited my family recently. Jason and I have gone and visited his family a couple times. We're kind of just free spirits, we don't have kids. We have Bruce. We take him everywhere with us, and we can get up and go type lifestyle. And I wouldn't have been able to do this 10 years ago because it would have been too disruptive to my control with my food and my workouts. And so I hope that message comes through with you guys because I'm so proud of myself to be where I am today. I'm proud that I can live my life and not be consumed by thoughts of my own body or food for the majority of the day. It takes me back to going through dietetic school. I was doing my 2-year for a diet tech at SUNY Morrisville, and one of the teachers were talking about this, and she was saying, what percentage of the day are you thinking about food, or are you thinking about your own body? And my percentage was really high. To be honest with myself, at that point in time, I felt like it was almost all I was thinking about, which is horrible because how much did I miss out on with relationships and friends and memories and learning knowledge in other areas other than thinking about my own stupid body and how big or small it was or how I was going to work out more. It literally consumed me. I know I'm being repetitive, but I want to get that through to you guys that I'm not that person anymore. I've had a lot of experiences that I've learned so many different things through. Through the competition world, through marathon prepping, and then through navigating life off stage and how to balance that. I've had ups and downs. I'm not always right. I'm not always perfect, but I have learned so much, and I am so happy that I'm just in a better place where I wake up every day and I feel good about myself. And with that being said, for perspective wise, in the thumbnail picture, that was a picture of me on our honeymoon, being as small as possible, killing myself to be as tiny as possible. I was also a vegetarian. I was drastically under eating and not nourishing my body. I was not a healthy vegetarian. For those of you that are going to say, why are you not a vegetarian anymore? It was not a healthy journey for me. I do think it masked a lot of my disordered thoughts with food. So I am probably at least 10 to 15 pounds heavier than that photo. And I feel sexier than ever. I feel more confident than ever. I can say the majority of my body image is by far much higher and better and more realistic. I don't have that body dysmorphia anymore as I once did. I just feel so much more at peace. And I truly can focus more on my health than worrying about being small. Because I'm not going to ever make that sacrifice again. I'm never going to run myself into the ground to achieve what I used to achieve. I don't like how I look then either. And I don't want to get into that. It's not really about you look better now versus then, right? It's not about that. It's about those internal changes. But I am stronger now. I am so strong. I used to be so weak and feel so weak. And even during marathon training, I remember I didn't feel like an athlete because I felt so weak. I wasn't eating enough, and I wasn't doing things to to really sustain my internal health. So I look at it now and, I work with a hormone specialist. I just got labs drawn the other week. I was going to share that kind of stuff with you guys on this channel, but I feel like I disclose a lot, and that's something that I'm just probably not going to dive into anymore on here. But, I do get regular lab work done. I do meet with a physician to review lab work, to make any changes I need to make sure things on the inside are functioning as optimal as possible. Health is something to not be taken for granted. And if there's something to be learned, even more so I felt this way, but through Jason's journey and seeing what he's had to go through, there's quite literally nothing more important than feeling healthy. You can be small, you can be the skinniest bitch in the room, but you can feel like absolute trash. You can be exhausted. What are you doing to get yourself to that point? And are you even able to enjoy life once you get there? You may not be able to, because if you were like me, and guess what? When I was that teeny tiny, I was miserable. I was not happy with myself, and all I thought about was food in my body. That's not a good life to live. So I'm telling you right now, it's not about the number on the scale. It's not about getting as small as possible. It's about making changes and behaviors in your life that make you feel good. That is what this journey is about for me. That is what the summer cut is about. Yes, it's called a summer cut. We got the weight loss tips and tricks in here, but for me, this is about doing what's best for my health, okay? I know I look good now. I feel good now. Maybe I sound arrogant, but even with me trying to lose a couple more pounds just to feel more fit and active and strong and fierce, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that, because I know mentally and physically I'm doing the right things. I'm giving my body grace. I'm giving myself rest when I need it. I am most weeks doing the best I can with my workouts, but a lot of weeks I'm like, it's not it this week. I got to prioritize X, Y, and Z instead. And I am doing a great job with that. So I am here giving myself credit, and I'm here encouraging you guys to give yourself credit too. I saw a bunch of you comment on the last video I did as well when I asked to hear about your progress, that you felt like you had a lot of false starts, or you felt like things weren't going great for you yet. And ask yourself why that is. It's all perspective about how you're viewing that, because you could tell me all of where you're at right now, and I could probably tell you 3 to 5 reasons why you've done a fantastic job. So sometimes it's unlearning that diet mentality in some ways with certain things that just aren't healthy to consume our mind, Something I forgot to throw on my list, but I used to definitely be a good food, bad food. I used to be a good food, bad food type person. Thankfully, coming into the world of dietetics shifted my perspective a lot, but at the same time, I still had a lot of that for a bit. As a vegetarian, I used to see a lot of foods as good and bad, and it was very black and white for me, and I'm not that person anymore either. I am someone that can go have the cookies or the cake or the alcoholic drinks. I'm not saying you have to do this. I'm just saying I can do that and not stress over it. It doesn't have to consume my mind. It is what it is, and I move on with my life now. It's so freeing. It's so freeing. And this video, I guess, isn't me bragging or giving you a magic wand on how to do what I've done, but I just want to praise myself and acknowledge that these are a lot of the things that I've done the work for and continue to work on. That's kind of what this journey is about. And I hope that you guys are able to do the same for yourself and give yourself grace and really focus on what truly matters. I've also, throughout this series, I've missed a lot of workouts for what I kind of set myself up for. I was going to do 5 days a week, X amount of sessions, and I've failed to complete a majority of those full 5-day weeks. To me, it's not a failure anymore. It's me doing a good job prioritizing what I needed to during these very busy weeks I've been having. So it's really important to be, when I say be realistic, that's why. I wasn't realistic 10 years ago. I'm realistic with myself now. I'm realistic with when I need to prioritize sleep. I prioritize my sleep. I'm not going to get up at 4 a.m. because no days off, grind harder than me type lifestyle. It's not my lifestyle anymore, you guys. That's why I'm always unsure if I'll ever compete again or not, because that's a very black and white type thing you have to do for a set duration, for a set result, and then you have to be able to shift back into normal healthy behaviors outside of that. But that's just not my life anymore. Like, I'm not about like, I'll just get up earlier and get 2 hours of workouts in. I just won't work out. It's fine. That's my life now, and I'm okay with that. So I have made so many positive changes, and I'm making this video to encourage you guys as well to hang in there and hopefully focus on different habits that you can shift versus feeling like a failure if you don't meet a set weigh-in, or, you know, even if you're not getting all your workouts in, it doesn't mean you're a failure. You're probably living a balanced lifestyle and doing what's best for you in the moment. So I hope that this video was somehow helpful for you guys. I know a lot of this was kind of not talking down about myself, but more so just being realistic about who I was and who I've become as a woman. As I've gotten older, certainly gotten wiser with age. It's not a bad thing. Telling you ladies, if you're young here, don't stress heading into your 30s. We are still young. Don't get me wrong, but it's been a better decade for me. Let's just say that. I am in a much better place with feeling confident in who I am, and I aim to always help you guys feel more confident, not for who you're going to be in the future, but who you are today. Before I exit this video, I guess I could see that one of the main questions I may get is like, how did I make all those shifts? And I don't really have just one answer for you. I would say, you know, if you've followed my channel for years, you've seen I've just kind of done different things that have worked for me, and what's worked for me may not work for you. You know, there's been huge periods of time, I think very beneficial for me as someone who was so focused on food and my body and all that stuff. It was great for me to not be focused on it. It's not easy to give up that control, but you know, if you are that person, it may not be the best for you to be doing all the things I'm doing during my summer cut. It may not be best for you to be tracking your macros, weighing your food, monitoring each number of workouts you're getting every week. You may not be at the stage where that's healthy for you. And I think it's important to remember that when you're consuming these types of videos, that what I'm doing is best for me at this stage of my life. Given everything I've just shared with you, it may not be best for you. You may not be there yet. You may not even be close to a morsel of where I'm at. So I think it's always good to know that and really focus on what your current need is. What's the priority for you? Is the priority losing weight, or is the priority healing yourself first? Because if your focus is healing your relationship with food and your body, I'm telling you, you kind of have to actually back off things. You do have to back off the tracking and the closely monitoring, and you have to get back to like living your life and remembering what it likes to kind of be present in the moment. Go enjoy date nights, go enjoy trips with your family, go enjoy sitting on the couch, like just doing whatever feels good for you and not being so focused on the need to be smaller. It's one step at a time, you guys. So for me, I had to start with just kind of like removing myself from all of it and focusing on what felt good for me. And I did gain weight during that time, and I didn't look as athletic, and I didn't get as many views on social media. Like, these are just things you have to be aware of and say, who cares? And move on with your life and do what's best for you on the inside. It'll look different for everyone, but I do hope you guys found some value in this video. If you feel like it would be helpful to share this video with others, it helps the channel out a lot. It helps me out as well. So please, if you want to share it on your socials, if you feel like this was impactful or could help someone else, I much appreciate it. As always, I appreciate all of you guys. I love you all so much. I do hope you are enjoying your summers guilt-free, enjoying all the things and making memories and living in the moment. It feels good to be here, and I hope you guys are there too. If not, keep working towards it. I promise you it will be worth it. So that's it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed episode 11, and I'll see you in the next one.